This is Craig with the Foundry University, and we're going to talk about side sections and pulls. So, with side sections, I want to illustrate a few things. One of the key things I want to focus on are A, making sure that our body stays correct in reference to the section in which we're wanting to take. For example, if I take a section moving from the mannequin's apex and I move and take a section vertical, straight down the side of the head. And then again, as noted earlier, all sections will either be a finger width or they will be a comb width. We will take this section just over the ear or behind the ear. And for illustrative purposes, I'm gonna clip this off so you have a nice clean land. Then I'll take the other half of that section. So we're moving at about a finger width section. I'll move this over. You can see that as I'm grooming the hair, what's happening is I don't have to really clip the hair. If I'm grooming appropriately and I'm in control of the section, I have an even amount of moisture on the hair, I'm gonna have control of my section. So that's very key to get the type of sections that you want. Not only get the section you want, once you have your section, we have to get the correct pull. So I'm gonna start on a front profile on her pull. When we take this section, if I spend the time to take the pull, I wanna pull this hair straight out to my wall to my right. When I pull this straight out, I also want to make sure that if I want this to truly be a side vertical pull, and I'm going to be cutting straight up and down, for instance, that I am keeping my shoulder first where it needs to be, so then I can control my elbow where it needs to be. So if you look at this movement, it's an L that is floating in space. I'm not floating like this because I'm wanting my hair to be parallel to the floor. So when I come in with my comb, as we spoke about earlier, I want my comb to come into the hair. I want the comb to exit and leave the head flat to the wall to my right. In addition to that, I want to make sure my fingers come through off my hand, drop down in an L as well, so that when this hair gets pulled out, it is being pulled clean and concisely to where you want to go. Point in case is, if I'm just randomly slopping through the hair, I'm not gonna get the hair where I need it to be. Therefore, our guest or the client or whomever you're working on is not gonna wind up with the result you want. So we want to make sure that our feet are in line to our work. I can have my feet flat on the floor. I can have one foot into my work, but the point is my shoulders need to be square to my work. So that way I can shift and rotate and move out to get the section that I want. And by using a mirror, you'll be able to see that you are level to your section. So if I'm looking in a mirror now, I can see that I'm too low. If I elevate, I can clearly see I'm too high. If I want a true vertical pull, then each section needs to be parallel to the floor. So I will use my mirror to get a visual read, making sure my shoulder, my elbow, my forearm, my top of my hand, and my fingers are moving in unison to get the end result and the effect that we so desire. Then my comb would then enter, and notice my comb and my fingers are moving together. I'm not doing this and then chase it and try to get it where I need to be. Make life easy, get it together, and pull out to where you want to go so you can execute the outcome that you're truly trying to create. If you're doing this, you're gonna ensure a better outcome in the work that you're wanting to facilitate. Side pull. With side pull, you have a few options. If I pull this section and I take a section and I have my fingers down, that's gonna indicate that I'm lifting up on the hair. Okay, so when my fingers are down, typically I'm lifting up. I'm not pushing down. I'm gonna lift to keep that hair parallel to the floor or wherever I choose to take the hair, okay? When my hands come in, the comb and the fingers send it to where you want it to go. If I have my fingers up, typically, I'm now lifting up, okay? So that way I have the elevation that I need in the haircut, and I would then be using my mirror to see where the hair is going. When section to side section, keep in mind that we will either have our fingers down or we'll have our fingers up.